The next option I can do on my guide is create the turnover by month. So now what I'm going to do is do a save as on this report, and I'm going to call this detailed turnover output monthly, and then give that a save. I'm now going to edit that report, leave all the columns in place that I had previously, and I'm just going to delete my formulas because they need rewriting. Now, if I go to add another summary formula, I've got slightly different ones listed in my guide, as you can see here. So first of all, let's call this turnover month. And this is a percent filled to 2 decimal places. And now what I want to do is select selected groups to get the turnover monthly and have it look at run date adjusted. That's all valid. I can click apply. You can repeat that action for the average headcount by month. And that is how you create your data for your detailed turnover snapshot. Now, my snapshot that I just set up doesn't have any data in it, so I cannot actually click into to show you what it looks like, but I have got one on an old trial org I created a while ago. So just to show you, this report has a run date adjusted of 31st of December 2024. I can see all the information, so the individuals, whether they were headcount at the start of this period, i.e. December 2024, and whether they were a headcount at the end, whether they were a leaver, etc. And all of these numbers here contribute to the formulas at the end. Now the formulas at the end look blank. That is because if you remember, when we actually created the formulas, we grouped it by selected groups. So if I just turn off my detail rows using this toggle at the bottom, I can see my data from December 24 to November 2025, and I can see my totals. So all of those numbers, headcount at the start, headcount at the end of the period, how many leavers, how many starters, how many involuntary leavers versus voluntary leavers we had. And this data is not very good because I've had a few leavers, but clearly their leaver category hasn't been updated. And then you can see the turnover by month here, and then you can see the average headcount by the month as well. So that's what your detailed turnover report will look like once it's run. Obviously, by turning the detail rows off, I can see the high level data and the figures and the stats. But if I turn the detail rows on, I can actually see the detail of those individuals. And if I just try and find one of my leavers, let's just sort it by headcount leaver. Just got to find a month that I had leavers in. So 31st of January was when we had some. So if I just skip through December, 31st of January, and look, you can see this person was a leaver in January 2025. There's their unique ID. So if I can go and search for who they are, it looks like it's Judith. And if I just navigate to Judith's employment record, I should see an end date in January. End date 19th of January 2025.